You have to watch it. It's so good.
It was all right.
Your friends may have decent taste in movies, but their incoherent reviews are getting annoying.
I don't know. I just didn't like it.
Looking for a new podcast?
Join Time Sensitive, where we break down the recent movies you've heard of, but may have missed.
Spoilers included.
And we get it. You're busy and can't see everything, but are you really going to track it down a year later?
We take the time so you don't have to.
Find us on Twitter @TSMoviePod and find out what we're watching.
I'm Sam.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Kate, and we're 3 friends and armchair movie critics. Seriously, invite us into your living room.
Kate, stop.
Listen now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher.
Time sensitive, because you deserve better.
This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hey everyone, you're wasting time with Chris, Beth, and Matt. My name is Chris Williams. With me as always are
Beth Golpe
and
Matt December.
How are you guys?
So good. How are you?
Good. It's fall.
I love the fall.
I mean, it's not officially fall, but it's
Yeah,
Labor Day.
It never works that way. Yeah, it's always like the first of the month is my start. You know, it's technically always like the third week of the month.
Yeah, it's like
you know,
the
it's like
21st,
September, June.
Yeah.
You know, January.
I'm really excited because I love the fall movie season. Like, I get to the point where over the summer, I just kind of get really sick of seeing, all these sequels and remakes and books based on intellectual property, movies based on intellectual property, sorry. So I'm usually really excited for fall.
Yeah, me too.
But the first movie I'm seeing this fall is It Chapter 2, which is
Yeah,
a sequel
the
based on a book, which is also kind of a remake of a TV show.
Oh my goodness.
But we'll see. I like it. And I'm kind of excited to get into, the summer or the fall season with the award winners and things like that.
Yeah, it does. No, it slows down. It matures. Like, sure, it might still be like sequels, like you said, but it's not like so much noise, and it's all not, it's all superheroes all summer.
I
It's
know,
all
now it's
like
just gonna be
noisy.
Star
It's all loud.
Wars
It's all
and-
Fast and
Yeah.
Furious. It just.
No, I mean, and it was a decent enough summer. It was like, there were a few original things I liked. Like, I really liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
It was really good. But,
I think it's really good.
everything else was either another superhero movie or another Disney movie or another sequel. And I don't know, it got really exhausting really fast.
These Disney movies are so bizarre. They feel so phoned in.
Have you seen any of them?
I only saw the Lion King one, and I honestly couldn't even bring myself to see the Aladdin one because I could already tell I wasn't going to like it. And I don't know. I just...
I
have really strong feelings about Aladdin, and I just knew no matter what, I was going to leave feeling like a sourpuss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I didn't see it, but...
I took my son to see both Aladdin and the Lion King remakes.
Mm-hmm.
And Aladdin is pretty bad, mainly because I really think Guy Ritchie is just a bad director.
Yeah.
And this feels like it looks cheap in some places. But it's kind of this weird thing where sometimes it wants to have Will Smith kind of do his thing where he's like, the Will Smith genie. So he's kind of like Hitch, but a genie, which is kind of fun. But then they'll have him do like really cartoony things. Like, he'll almost verbatim do Robin Williams' shtick, which is not what Will Smith is good at.
Yeah.
And then there's all these songs, which Beth, I grew up with Aladdin too, which has all these fun, really fast, energetic songs. And all the songs in Aladdin feel like they're played at half speed.
Ugh.
Like, there's just, because everything was so cartoony and like so fast paced in that, and you can't do real life at that speed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels like it drags. But I would still take that over Lion King.
Oh, really?
Oh, which is the most lazy thing I've ever seen. Like, it's fantastic special effects because everything in it is fake and everything in it is created by computers. Even the backgrounds, all the animals, all of it is computer generated and it looks real and it looks like a nature documentary. But the problem is it's a nature documentary where I feel like someone has dubbed over the Lion King script. But animals,
it's like verbatim.
Yeah, almost verbatim. But the thing is animals don't show emotion.
Yeah.
Like human, they don't. There's no emoting. Mm-hmm. So it's just like Nala and take I Just Can't Wait to Be King, which in the animated movie, is a very kind of energetic, cartoony musical sequence where like all the animals are doing dance moves and things like that. In this, they're just kind of walking.
Yeah.
It's just Nala and Simba just kind of walking and singing, and yeah, it's lazy. It's such a lazy movie. It was so boring. Yeah, those are kind of the nadir of like everything like that Disney's doing. Just such a lazy cash grab. And I was actually, Matt, you and I were talking about this earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10 of the top 10 films are, or no, 9 of the top 10 films of last year are.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, why don't you handle this?
So, yeah. 9 of the top 10 movies for 2019 up to this point are sequels, remakes, and one is based on a comic, but it is a new IP to movies, so maybe we can give it a break. But the top 10 right now is Avengers Endgame. The Lion King is the number 2 movie of the year, and it's actually already in the top 10 movies all time as far as total gross goes, if you can believe that, based on, again, I agree with you. I saw The Lion King, and I thought it was pretty lazy. Number 3 is Captain Marvel, which, while being a comic book movie, is a new IP. It's a new character we haven't seen before. So
But still Marvel.
It's still Marvel. It's still a Disney property. Toy Story 4, Spider-Man Far From Home, Aladdin, and then at number 7 you have really the only original IP, which was Us by Jordan Peele. And then you have John Wick 3, you have How to Train Your Dragon 3, you have The Secret Life of Pets 2. And then once you get into the top 15, you have Pokemon Detective Pikachu was number 11, Shazam was number 12, Fast and the Furious was 13, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and then number 15 is Dumbo, which I forgot came out this year,
yeah.
which was also another Disney remake. So yeah, it's very strange.
It is very strange.
It's crazy. Like, even if you break that down by week after week, what was like the top movie, there were only 2 weeks where an original movie with no IP attached was the top movie. It was mid-August, Good Boys came out.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised everyone by making a lot of money. But then you have to go all the way back to March when Us came out. And that dominated for a week, and then Dumbo and Shazam came and did that. It's crazy. Like, even the ones you haven't mentioned, I mean, the year started off with Aquaman.
Aquaman was this year?
No, it came out end of last year, but it was the number 1 movie the first weekend of this year.
I totally forgot that.
There was one called The Upside, which sounds like it might be an original one with Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart.
Oh.
But it's actually a remake of a French film.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Shazam, The Curse of La Llorona, which is a Conjuring movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, there is... I remember, I mean, like... sequels have, like, always been a part of Hollywood and remakes and stuff. Like, The Wizard of Oz has been remade several times. 10 Commandments was remade several times. There's always been sequels. And even when we were growing up, I mean, there was always... You'd get excited, like, oh, they're making a Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, they're making a 3 Ninjas at Mega Mountains. It's going to be awesome.
No, we were too old for that, Chris.
There would always be, like, some original stuff put through. And, you know, it felt like a sequel was a rare thing and kind of something you'd look forward to, but it wasn't the only game in town.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. But I think you really, at this, well, I don't know. I mean...
That was just the golden age of sequels when they were just first starting to be sequels, and it was exciting. Like, they're making a second Predator. Are you kidding me? The first Predator was so awesome. You know, and like Ghostbusters 2 and...
So I'm just looking at the number 1 movies for each year for the last whatever, how many years. And the last time there was like a non-sequel, non-franchise number 1 movie for the year was 2014 when it was American Sniper.
Yeah.
Before that, it was 2009 with Avatar. And before that, it was 2002 with Spider-Man. Everything else during the rest of those years were sequels or part of a franchise.
Well, and Spider-Man was based on IP. It was Marvel.
Yes, totally. but that was the original Tobey Maguire one. Yeah, I mean, but if you go back into the 90s, it really was...
It's so good. Look at this.
90s was a lot of, like, new stuff. I mean, you had Saving Private Ryan, Titanic, Independence Day.
No. Saving Private Ryan, based off of World War II. Titanic, based off the Titanic.
History.
Forrest Gump, based off the George W. Bush biography.
Oh, very good. Very well done, sir. Yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of all the... Well, I don't know. See, the thing is, I say I'm tired of it, but I do like franchises. I mean, I do like the Marvel movies. I do like the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, I mean, we're all part of the problem, right?
Yeah, but I don't need, like, a remake of Lady and the Tramp. Like...
Coming to Disney Plus this fall, baby.
I cannot figure that out. Like, I don't know what you just mouthed at me.
It was dirty.
Look, I've been watching a lot of Lady and the Tramp lately because my 2-year-old loves animals. He loves dogs. And it's good. It's good as it is. It's a great little film. Music's great. It's cute. Just stop. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, we don't.
It's really not as even impressive enough to require any further.
Yeah,
it's
why
nothing.
do we need exactly. Why do we need a remake?
The story's not complicated. It's not emotional. It's very straightforward.
Yeah, we don't need remakes of these old properties. I don't know.
I really like the Jungle Book one.
Which one?
The Jungle Book remake is fine.
Yeah,
I like that one a lot.
the Bill Murray as Baloo, the latest one. I really like that
That's not
one.
the latest one.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Oh no, they did one for Netflix.
Netflix did
Yeah,
Oh, you're
right.
kidding me.
Yeah, it was like called Mowgli or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the one
Andy
I'm-
Serkis directed it.
Yeah.
And Idris Elba is Shere Khan, because I just watched that with my older son. And I still had to fast forward through a lot because Shere Khan is terrifying. And he straight up murders Mowgli's dad in that movie. Rah. But I was like, oh, that's good. And I really liked the Jungle Book with Carrie Elwes in it when I was young, too. But
Well, I think, but the Jungle Book, take that as, like, a good idea. Like, you can tell these stories over and over. Like, you know...
it is one of those stories,
people do Shakespeare stories over and over and over. I don't have any problem with someone saying, we have a good angle on this, we have a good idea of how to retell this story.
Yeah, that's a really excellent point.
You know, because sometimes they get it better. Like, you know, the famous example is The Thing from Another World or Thing from Another Planet. I can't remember the official title right now, and it's kind of killing me. But it was remade as The Thing, obviously, in 1982, which is taking a pre-existing story and retelling it from a new angle, and that's arguably the superior version of it.
It is The Thing from Another World.
Thank you. Thing from Another World. But then they remade it again as The Thing, which was kind of a pseudo prequel, and it is terrible. Yeah. So I don't have a problem with them retelling a story, and I don't have a problem necessarily with sequels if you can make them interesting. And I think they're doing a good job with Marvel now. You know, it's not so much a sequel. Which when we were growing up, remember Home Alone 2 was basically Home Alone.
Home Alone, yes, just remade
You would do the first movie again, and that was your sequel, which was lazy.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that, now it's the second, it's an ongoing story. It's basically TV now. But I'm okay with that. I just think I want it balanced by something new.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the week we're recording this, they announced they're making a 4th Matrix movie, okay?
Yep.
I love The Matrix. I'm curious to hear what they can do with this. I don't like Matrix 2 or 3 at all.
Boo.
But here's the thing. Even if they make an interesting movie out of it, you're not going to recapture what everyone loved about The Matrix.
And Matrix 2 and 3.
Well, no, I mean, what I'm saying is you're not going to recapture what everyone loved about The Matrix because that was new. That was something we had not ever seen before.
Right.
You know, that was a story we hadn't been told. That was just concepts we hadn't heard of, special effects we hadn't seen.
We need a new Matrix. We need a 2020... give us a new movie. Give us something we haven't seen.
Well, that's the problem, is the studios won't do that because it's not attached to anything that is pre-sold.
Yeah, there's no reason to take a risk when you can just make another John Wick movie.
Right. And I will see a John Wick 4.
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
That's the problem. You're the problem, Chris.
We're all
No
the
reason
problem.
No,
to take
you
a
are.
risk when you can take a Wix.
Oh.
I'm going to edit that out.
Thank you.
How do we get that out there?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're part of, we're part of the problem because Hollywood, their main goal is let's make some money, and people aren't going to, I heard someone say this once, and it made a ton of sense to me. People used to, when we were growing up, you would go to the movies, right, with your friends. And it didn't matter what else you had going on. It didn't matter what was showing. You would show up at the movies just because you and your friends were going to go to the movies. And sometimes you would just decide when you got there what you were going to see.
Yes, and we would see stuff 2 and 3 and 4 times just because to go.
Yeah. And what do people don't do that anymore, though. People go to a movie. If you go to a movie, you've already know what you're going to. You're going to go see the Avengers movie. If you are going to have that experience of, I don't know, let's just watch something, you're going to pull up Netflix. You're going to pull up Amazon. And you're going to watch something on there because it's cheaper and you're not taking a risk with your money because it's pre-bought, basically.
That's true.
And so Hollywood looks at, hey, what's making money? Oh, well, these sequels, because people are going to see those. They're going to see the events. And while the events used to be what held up the rest of the studio slate, now they're everything. They are the studio slate.
That is true. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Damn right.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with it.
This is depressing.
It's really crazy though. If you look at okay, Matt, you don't have Box Office Mojo up anymore, right?
I do.
Okay, well don't look at it.
Okay.
God
excuse
bless
me.
you.
Bless you, baby.
So 1988. What do you think the top movie in 1988 was?
1988, that would have been
3 Men and a Baby.
3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, close. That was 1987.
Oh, I love 3 Men and a Baby.
1988 was Rain Man. The top movie
That
of
was-
the entire year.
Wow.
The top movie of the entire year was Rain Man.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't have 3 Men and a Baby wouldn't happen. It wouldn't top it this year.
Could you imagine if a movie like 3 Men and a Baby came out and it was the highest grossing movie of the entire year?
It's crazy, but it happened. I mean, 3 Men and a Baby made a lot of money.
You're so good at computers.
It made $167 million. I mean, that year, the top
That's 80s
10.
money, too.
The top 10 that year were like 3 Men and a Baby, Fatal Attraction, Beverly Hills Cop 2, so a sequel,
Oh, yeah.
Good Morning Vietnam, Moonstruck,
Moonstruck.
Oh, I love
Wow.
The Untouchables,
Oh, I love The Untouchables.
The Secret of My Success, Stakeout, Lethal Weapon, and The Witches at the Stake.
Stakeout. Wow.
Emilio Estevez. But you compare that to this year when it's not all Marvel, it's not all Star Wars, but it's all Disney pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of
What
crazy.
can we do? What
I don't know.
can we do?
I don't know. There's not a solution that we can do. We are just 3 people. What can we do? No, I think what's going to be interesting, though, is, think about the point we're at. Because Disney's probably the best one to use as an example, because they dominate everything, right?
Yeah.
So, I think they're at a weird point this year, where I think you're going to start seeing things shift. And everyone's going to follow Disney's lead after this, right? Because Disney is, the top thing. Everyone wants to kind of duplicate their success. Avengers just did Endgame earlier this year.
Yes.
So the Marvel movies, they're still always going to be big, but they're not going to get that big ever again.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone about as big as you can go with those movies.
Yeah.
So they're at a point where I don't think they're ever going to see that money again for one movie.
Just
Just
choked up.
Wow,
Go on, you get emotional. Okay, relax.
They're not going to get Endgame money anymore. So everything's going to start to look like a disappointment. Think about when their shareholders start realizing profits are way down next year because they don't have an Endgame. Star Wars. It doesn't end this year, but they take a few-year break after this year, after Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start over with something new. I don't know that it's going to be as successful. It's going to be a whole other storyline, a whole other group of characters.
Mm-hmm.
They've already remade their biggest and most beloved movies. Like, they already did Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Lion King. Those are their three. They have Little Mermaid coming up and Mulan. And after that, I have no idea. Lady and the Tramp. So what are they? Are they just going to start remaking the Santa Claus? Which, down for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go see that in theaters, obviously.
So I think, I do think there's a point where they're going to have to come up with something original.
Yeah.
But I also think after a while, audiences are going to get bored.
I think so, yeah.
Like,
I'm
I don't
bored.
think, like, Marvel's
I'm
not
bored.
going to last. Like, think about 10 years ago.
No.
Please?
Okay.
In 2008, like just 11 years ago, the biggest franchise around was not Marvel at all, which had just started. It was actually Batman.
What?
It was The Dark Knight.
Yes.
The year of The Dark Knight. Well, I think everyone thought, well, that's going to determine the future of, of superhero movies. Well, the last few Batman movies have been terrible. Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And Justice League.
You're right, those were terrible.
So Marvel's not going to have this top position forever. They're going to have to, they're going to have to figure something else out. So I don't know. I think eventually it just writes itself.
In the meantime, turn to all your streaming services for pretty good original programming.
Don't do that. Cancel a bunch of your streaming services. You have too many.
No, keep your Netflix. Keep your
Don't-
Netflix. It's the best.
Stop
Netflix.
it. Cancel everything.
Prime. You got to watch your Prime.
Okay, well, to the Netflix thing.
Uh,
Netflix used to be where you would go to get original TV shows that were weird that you couldn't see anywhere else. But Netflix has started to realize, hey, we like money too. So they're starting to cancel a lot of things after 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
After like 2 or 3 seasons. So Netflix isn't going to stay Netflix forever. So it's going to be... I'm interested to see what happens.
Look, I know you loved Sense8, but it just couldn't sustain.
Sense8.
Well, that's why there's a Matrix 4.
Exactly.
People didn't watch Sense8. People also didn't watch Cloud Atlas or Speed Racer, both of which are good movies, by the way. And so, of course, the Wachowskis, their next step is, hey, we need to keep making movies. People aren't going to see our movies. What can
year?
we do?
What year did those movies come out, Chris?
They were recently.
No, they
Within
weren't.
the last 10 years.
That's not recent.
But I'm saying, no one, the Wachowskis aren't.
They're not
Really
desperate
reliable.
for cash.
Yeah, they're
not
definitely
desperate for
not.
cash. But a
And
studio's
only
not
one
gonna,
of them is doing this movie, I thought.
Right, but they're not going to take a studio's not going to say, hey, remember when you did Matrix and that was big, so we'll do anything you want now. Because everything else has been has its defenders, but it's not made money.
Okay.
But what they can do is say, oh, we want to keep making stuff. We have the Matrix card in our back pocket. So we'll make a Matrix 4, we'll get Keanu Reeves, we'll get Carrie-Anne Moss, and we'll do that.
I have less of a problem with this. It's been so long since it's like, sure, I'll take an injection of Matrix. It's been, what do you think, 15 years?
Yeah,
Since
the
the last
third one
one?
came out in like 2004.
It was a long time. It's
Look
been a
at
long
me.
time.
It was
With
like
the-
99 was the first one. 99, 2002, 2004 maybe, 2003, 2004.
No, they were the...
Back to back?
2 and 3 were like 6 months apart.
Okay, so maybe like 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
I had a Matrix poster in my dorm room in college. Yeah, I think it was college, of the 2 like Ghost Brother ones. It was like before the movie even came out.
Wait,
They
like
were-
you had a Matrix 2 poster on your
Yes,
wall?
before it came out, they released all these like photos of all the new characters that were going to be in it.
I do remember that.
I do too, and I remember the Matrix video game we played a lot too.
Oh yeah, the PlayStation 2. Yeah, we did play a lot.
Do you guys remember this? So, as I just thought of this question, I thought this would be a fun way to maybe close out.
Oh.
Do you guys remember the first sequel you saw that you were so excited about, and you had to realize, oh, that sucked?
That's a good question.
Well, I can go first while you guys are talking.
Yeah.
So for me, it was The Lost World.
That's a good
In
answer.
1997. I still love Jurassic Park. And I saw that movie like 6 or 7 times the year it came out. I was obsessed with that movie. It was my favorite movie. So I remember Lost World came out, and so my senior skip day, I went to the theater and bought tickets for that evening's show so that I could go with my friend after school, because he was a junior, so he couldn't skip. And we were so excited, and I had been obsessing over it. I had been reading all the magazine articles. I was so pumped to see it. It looked so scary. They had this like really great shot of raptors tracking a guy in cornfields and things like that. And I was so pumped. This was going to be the best movie. And it's awful. And I remember sitting there, though, feeling like, something feels off. This doesn't feel like Jurassic. No, but I like this. This is good. This is good. Ha! Dinosaur got out of the park. I did not see that coming. Oh, he ate the dog. This is crazy. But it was like, I remember sitting there trying to convince myself that I liked it. Because I had spent like $10 to go see it, which when you're in high school is a bit of money.
So that's funny, yeah.
And I didn't want to be disappointed. I wanted to like the movie as much as I did Jurassic Park. And I ended up going to see it again that weekend. And that's when I had to admit, oh no, I don't like that movie.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
I have a good answer.
What?
I think it's a good answer. Mine is Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls.
Oh, that's such a good one. That's such a good
Gosh,
one. I have to say that is mine too. That I've never been in a theater and been so disappointed.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
Yeah.
Probably still ever.
Yeah, I remember seeing the first one in theaters with my dad and my brother, and we all laughed probably harder than I've ever laughed in my life through that entire movie. And then we saw Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls when that came out in theaters, and it was just like dead silence in the theater for like 90 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
really?
People were laughing, but I just remember it being very like, I think the scene that really for me was like, oh, I don't like this was when he was like crawling out.
You're going to say the rhino? This is my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah, that's when I was like, oh, yeah, this is terrible. This is not funny or good. That's my answer.
I have a soft spot for that movie.
Well, you're
Chicago!
None of these things make sense. I've not seen it since.
Really?
Yes, 100%.
I do remember seeing Zoolander too, and that was the reaction. It is all about, I was so curious about, Zoolander. I like Zoolander. Yeah. Can't wait for Zoolander 2. I did not laugh once at the entire movie, and no one in the theater laughed. It was so awful to sit in that theater.
That's awful.
Beth, you had one picked out.
Well, I was thinking, I know that it was disappointing, but I couldn't have seen it in theaters because it came out in the 90s. But it was Three Men and a Little Lady. I loved Three Men and a Baby. It was one of those, in my mom's VHS, Rolodex that I would just, wear out. And I do remember she took me to rent Three Men and a Little Lady. And I was so sad because it was terrible.
Poor Beth.
Yeah, poor Beth indeed.
Well.
But that Ace Ventura one is definitely the one that I saw in theaters, yes. And I really liked Lost World, but I was still a little young to be, critiquing movies in that way when I saw Lost World.
Well, to be fair, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls came out before Lost World.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
See, my brain still knew.
Wise. I mean, a comedy, when it's not working for you, though.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. That's right.
I was just like Chris was saying, I'm like, I like dinosaurs. I really like Jeff Goldblum. I like this.
Yeah.
You're watching it and you're like, oh, it's the guy. I like him, the hunter guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
what?
I think I was wrong on mine.
What?
That wasn't the first time. I think the first time when I saw a movie and was like, oh, this sucks, and it was a sequel, it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Oh,
where they went back in time.
That one was terrible.
Awful.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Because I was thinking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. I was like, no, I like Teenage
Mutant
Mutant
Ninja Turtles.
That was a good movie. Yes, 3. That's a good answer, too. Hey,
Yeah.
Here's an idea.
What?
Let's wrap this shit.
Let's wrap this shit up. Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
So, if you have thoughts about sequels or remakes or think we're just full of crap, go ahead and let us know. You can email us at whatever our email address is. Beth, what is it?
Oh, it's my favorite it is definitely not. Totally different podcast. It's wastingtimepodcast@gmail.com.
You can also find us on Facebook or Twitter. I'll put all those in the show notes. Matt, where are you online?
I'm on Twitter at Matt December.
Beth, how about you?
I'm at unicornfood.com. That's YOUNICORN food.com. And all my socials are there.
And you can find me on Twitter at Mere Christianity. You can read my writing about film at MichiganSportsAndEntertainment.com. And you can listen to my other show, We're Watching Here, which airs every other Friday on on Big Heads Media. And we'll be back next week.
Thanks for
Woo!
listening.
Thanks.
Wow, Matt was in a hurry to get out of there.